Sound of Freedom is officially the number 3 movie in the country. Now, I know you may be saying number 3, that don't cut it. We got to get Sound of Freedom up to number 1. That's going to be pretty tough to do considering Barbie and Oppenheimer came out. So look, man, I got to tell you, in terms of cultural endeavors we see coming from the anti-establishment, the right, whatever you want to call it, this large faction, number 3 is pretty dang good, especially on the small budget they had, big profits, major success. This is going to trigger alarm bells in an industry which is currently dealing with major strikes and bleeding cash every single week. So, of course, the allies of the corporate establishment, the corporate press, basically the same thing, they're freaking out. The Guardian says Sound of Freedom passed the $100 million mark. Who's really watching the movie? The QAnon-adjacent film, co-opted by the right wing, has a pay-it-forward scheme, resulting in sold-out shows but empty theaters. A lie. It's a lie. Look, there is a pay-it-forward program, we call it a scheme, which is effectively crowdfunding. That's the funny thing. They're smearing the film like the theaters were empty and we went and checked, but there's in clever language. Let me show you. Let me show you a little bit. Take a look at this. They say, Sound of Freedom, the religious QAnon-adjacent child smuggling film. Oh, notice they put QAnon-adjacent in quotes. Oh, please. I'm going to say this. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you've ever watched Law & Order SVU, then this is like that. Okay, you know, it is law enforcement going after people who abuse kids. Like the overall majority of Law & Order SVU is that. Is it a QAnon-adjacent show? Apparently, yes. Check this out. As the movie continues to cause controversy. What controversy? What are you talking about? The critics like it. It's got 74% Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience gives it 100%. So spare me your lies. They say questions are being asked about who is actually watching it and whether that many people are watching it at all. Angel Studios, the film's distributor, set up a controversial pay-it-forward scheme. There's a message at the end of the film and a prominent link on the studio's website urging viewers to buy an extra ticket for someone who would not otherwise be able to see the film. It's clearly been working. They say on the 4th of July, the day the film's released, nearly 20% of its sales came from people who bought those extra tickets. In a theater located in New York's Times Square on Thursday afternoon, there seemed to be evidence, they say, that the sales figures might be overinflating their significance. According to Fandango, all but 28 seats had been sold for the 3 p.m. screening of Sound of Freedom. As the lights dimmed, however, The Guardian counted 45 vacant seats dotted around the half-empty theater. Minutes before the 6:30 p.m. screening, Fandango showed that only 2 seats were still available. Again, there were more than 2 vacant spots as the film began. Oh boy! We got ourselves a corporate press lion doozy on this one. What do they say? What does Michael Mal say? Factual but not truthful. Let's break it down. As the lights dimmed. What does that mean? The lights dimmed twice in a movie theater. First, if you walk in before any of that stupid movie, what is that thing they do with like Maria Menounos? You know her? She's always hosting that thing before a movie starts. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting those in the region. But if you walk into a movie theater, lights are bright. You're the first person in. You sit down. The lights dim to, and this is most theaters I've been to, maybe they're not all the same. The lights will dim a little bit as it starts playing that like movie go or whatever it's called. And it's like trivia and it's like hold up your phone and the lasers are blasting and, you know, weird trivia stuff plays. Then the lights will dim again. So the question I have for The Guardian is, for which are you referring? Did you walk into the theater? Look at this. According to Fandango, all but 28 seats have been sold. As the lights dim, however, they counted 45 vacant seats. Did you go in a half an hour early before they even turned on the screen and were sitting there? And then once they dimmed for, say, previews, you counted the seats? Honest question. Context matters. Because take a look how they say this. 45 vacant seats. Yeah, okay. How many seats were in the theater? Were there 100? Is that half? I mean, it's pretty good, right? And this is, when is this? Thursday. This is like, how many weeks now? It's been 20 days since the movie came out, and the theater is still half full? I'm impressed. Take a look at this, though. Only 2 seats were still available. Again, there were more than 2 vacant spots. What? Was it 3? You see the mind games they're playing? These people are losing their minds because Sound of Freedom is succeeding. Don't take my word for it. If we pull up Box Office Mojo, we can see kabang! $124 million domestic. And let's entertain the possibility that a large portion of sales are coming from people who care about the film. and many who aren't actually seeing it. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you something. Let me put it this way. First, I would love it if all of you would check out Timcast Music on YouTube. You can listen to the latest song we put out a little while ago. It's called Bright Eyes. And the left sure does hate the music we've been putting out. We put out 4 songs. 3 of them did fairly well in the millions of views and charted on Billboard. And it's because we did a big marketing push. Bright Eyes, we didn't do a big marketing push at all because I need data. So the idea was we'll put out the song with no marketing push and then see how it performs. It did a couple 100,000. There you go. Marketing push as in going on my shows and saying, hey guys, listen to my music. The reason I bring this up is we had beaten Taylor Swift in downloads on iTunes. And the left freaked out saying like, well, no one buys music today anyway, so it doesn't even mean anything. And I'm like, my friends, are you saying that sales don't matter because everyone streams? A stream is when what's called the digital streaming playlist runs your song. So for most people, like you turn the radio on, your song's there. That's how it used to be back in the day. You got your song on the radio. Oh, that's marketing for your music. You're going to make money. These days, you have to figure it out for yourselves. So what happens is a lot of these artists get their songs in auto rotation on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, or whatever it is. And a lot of people will know the song, they'll hear the song, but it's not like they don't want to buy the song. Like, think about that. They don't want to buy it. They don't want to pay money for it. They don't want to support it. They just listen to it. Now, the difference is when we put out a song, we beat Taylor Swift. Granted, on the Friday release day, we beat Taylor Swift, and then she beat us the rest of the way. Fair. I don't expect to be a bigger musician than Taylor Swift. Come on, that'd be insane. But I'm saying we actually were able to pull off a single day victory. They attacked us for it, saying it's meaningless. If your argument is that what we are building generates more passion to the point where people are willing to support it directly with cash, and you're saying that's a bad thing or it's not real, I got news for you, dude. You're going to lose. Nobody wants to buy your garbage, but they'll buy our garbage? Is that your argument? We're going to win because we're going to make more money than you. Eventually, people are going to start realizing, hey, people will buy Sound of Freedom. 124 million. More theaters got added because money was to be made in whatever way imaginable. Now, let's imagine that every theater was empty. So you mean to tell me that conservatives are going to give money without even receiving a product? Capitalist dream. The idea that a theater could run an empty, run an entire theater room, theater 7 in a theater, empty. Movie plays, no cleanup, no people, nothing to worry about, no tickets. But every seat was sold. You kidding me? Movie theaters are probably laughing all the way to the bank being like, we want more of this. Talk about capitalistic power. The idea that people will just give you money because they like what you've done. And the argument, of course, they're saying it's not as significant, it's not as impactful or relevant. It's just people throwing money at it. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Angel Studios is going to get a lot of that money. The theaters are going to get a lot of that money. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to do more of this. And that's what we want. We want Sound of Freedom too. Not necessarily. I think it wrapped the story very, very well. It's a great movie, by the way. Take a look at this. This is Box Office Mojo, domestic box office for yesterday. Barbie #1, unsurprising. Oppenheimer #2, unsurprising. And Sound of Freedom #3. What? Sound of Freedom beat Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Take a look at this. Sound of Freedom gets 5.7 million on this is Friday to Mission Impossible's 5.5. Now, Mission Impossible wins Saturday with 7.8 to Sound of Freedom 7.4. But Sunday, Sound of Freedom hits 7 million to Mission Impossible 6, giving them the edge. They beat Indiana Jones. They beat Insidious, Elemental, Spider-Man. Now, I know some of these movies are a little bit older and whatever, and that's fine. And I want to be fair when I pull up Mission Impossible. Right now, their domestic box office, as with a July 12th release date, is 118 million. So they're coming high and going down. Sound of Freedom starts low and spiking up. Worldwide, they've got a $370 million box office. That's pretty dang good. And the worldwide box office for Sound of Freedom is only 124 million because there's no international box office. Hey, we'll take what we can get. A win is a win. The reason why I focus on making music, it's because I can. That's it. The reason why we're skating, we're playing music, we're doing these things. It's not because I think I'm the greatest musician in the world. It's not because I think my songs are the best songs ever written. It's because I know how to play music. I've been singing my whole life, playing drums, guitar, and doing these things. And culture is how you win a culture war. And you know what? If you don't like my music, don't listen to it. These leftists are like, your music's garbage, everyone hates it. And I'm like, we're on rotation. We're getting a consistent number of plays. It's actually making money. We're going to build a catalog. And if people like it, they do. There are a bunch of obscure bands many people have never heard of. They make a living playing music. I can look at some of my favorite bands and I'm surprised to see they've got nothing hitting Billboard. Favorite bands I've listened to forever. That's how it goes. We build culture. We make things. Maybe one day we'll get a song and it'll be really big and whatever. I don't know. We did fairly well. My point is this. I'm not coming out here thinking I'm going to fill a stadium like Taylor Swift or anything. I'm coming out here saying, just do the work. Now, if I played sports or football, I'd do a football show. I don't. I skateboard. I play guitar. I sing. I try and build culture where I can and invest in others who are doing similar things. There's only so much we can do because we're not that big of a company, but we're trying. That's why I like Sound of Freedom. This is victory. And let me show you something else as it pertains to victory. Welcome to The Flash. You may be asking yourself, where's The Flash on this list, man? You know, what's going on? Are they not making any money? How about this? Box office. As of July 20th, The Flash has grossed $107 million. The film is considered one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. Now, worldwide, they brought in $267 million. But their budget was about $200 million, and their marketing was about $200 million. So, wow. Sound of Freedom, I think, what was their budget? $14 million or something like this? And they are raking in the dough. July 15th, Saturday, $10 million came in. When did we have on Tim Ballard? Was that? Yeah, that was July 13th. And then Friday and Saturday. I hope we played a role in that to some degree. I really hope we do. We did. I am glad to see. Look at this. You can see it spikes. It goes up. Sunday was $9 million. We got to make more money. If you haven't seen Sound of Freedom, you should see it. But of course, the argument from the left is anybody actually really watching it? If you and I are more willing to pay money for these goods, it's attrition, baby. Over a long enough period of time, we win. End of story. Money talks, BS walks. That's how it goes. So if they put out movies like The Flash and dump all this money into it, and, I thought it was okay. But if they're going to dump money in it, it fails. I'll tell you what's happening right now. In Hollywood, there's a strike going on. And they're going like, oh, these lefties, they're costing me money. What do I do? Here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of studios that are going to say, oh, hold on. You mean to tell me that conservatives are paying money for a movie they're not even going to? We want that. You kidding me? So you mean we can put the movie out and they'll buy tickets for 4 or 5 times the price to support the message? Liberals don't do that. Remember that movie came out, Bros, where it was about two gay dudes? Billy Eichner. Nobody saw it. It bombed. Where was the zealotry? Where was the political fervor? Not there. But conservatives care so much about protecting kids that a movie with a strong moral message, no wokeness, just basically being like, we're going to save kids. They're going to spend 3 to 5 times as much as they should or have to. What capitalist would not want to take that opportunity? So here's what we're up against. How many people in Hollywood, I wonder, are going to stare at this and say, nah, I don't need money. Hey, probably a lot. Ideologically driven crackpots who are like, we're going to make woke films. A lot of people are ragging on Barbie. And it's funny, I'm seeing this mixed commentary. I don't care about Barbie. I'm not going to see Barbie, whatever. I might see Oppenheimer. I heard it's kind of slow and boring, but whatever. Maybe we'll see it this weekend or something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But the mixed commentary on Barbie is really funny. Some are like, it's feminist garbage. And some are like, it's actually pretty good and based. And I'm just like, I literally don't care about Barbie. I'm not going to see it. Fair point, though. Some people are saying, like, why are adult men commenting on a little girl's movie? And it's like, well, if the movie's influencing little girls to be insane, that's probably a good thing to criticize. We don't want our kids seeing garbage. But the reality is this. Barbie may make money. It may get flack. It may generate controversy. I'm not going to go see it. I'm not going to spend money to go see it. And it is making a lot of money. Of course, it's Barbie. Sound of Freedom comes from nowhere. It was jammed up. They tried to get it released. They had a hard time. And it is number 3. Now, that's going to say something to these studios. If you want to make money, you want to fish, you got to fish where the fish are, right? You make the flash, ain't no fish in that pond. You're wasting your money. Call conservatives fish, call them whatever you want. They're willing to pay for something that matters. And that's how you win a culture war. So you can do this. You can buy Timcast music songs on iTunes or just watch the videos on YouTube. Check them out if you haven't heard or listened to any of the music yet. It's an eclectic array of songs. We've got a couple more songs that are going to be released. We're going to keep making music because we can, because we know how to. And you know what? Maybe it's never going to be the best music in the world or the most popular, or whatever. It'll find its audience and it will have an influence. And someone will play the song and their kid will hear it. And that's what we got to do. We have to prove that people outside the machine can succeed. That's why it was so important for me that we got songs to hit the Billboard charts. And we did 3 of them out of 4. And the only reason the fourth one didn't is because, again, intentionally, no marketing push. Just really, really light. We put it up on YouTube, mentioned it a couple times, and walked away because I wanted to see what we would hit. Song number 4, natural play. The other thing is, not every song we put out is only a few of them are ever going to get the big treatment. That's true of all music. Band will put out 10 songs. Studio chooses 3 they want to focus on. So we may even just put out we want to put out drop an album, put like 5 songs up. It's like boom, there it is. As the rest of the songs have fun, because catalog is important. But ultimately, it's this. I want some kid to see those songs, to see the Billboard charts we hit. I want them to see Sound of Freedom, an indie film. And I want them to think we don't need Hollywood to succeed. That's the point. And that's how you win a culture war. When people start to realize you don't have to go through the establishment narrative machine. You can do it on your own. I think with that, we have a very, very bright future in front of us. Now, look, I'm a fan of a lot of these movies. You know what I mean? Like Mission Impossible. You know what? I got to be honest. I'm probably going to see this before I see Oppenheimer. I like these movies. They're fun. Explosions, bang, bang, spies, Tom Cruise jumping off buildings and stuff. It's just fun. You're allowed to have fun. I get it. So I always tell people this. When it comes to like Disney or Netflix and these other Disney Plus, Netflix, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to cancel everything, to boycott Hulu and do that stuff. I personally don't have Disney Plus. I'm not going to be getting it again because they were thanking the, security forces running the Uyghur Muslim camps. And I'm just like, I got to set a line, right? I don't expect everyone to cancel those because you want entertainment. What we need to happen is these kinds of victories like we see with Sound of Freedom. Because like I said, if companies start to see this is what makes money, they'll go for it. There's a show on Netflix that I talked about before called The Order. I think it's called The Order. It's like, what is it? Werewolves and like wizards or witches or something. I don't know, whatever. The bad guy was a communist. The bad guy was a communist professor. I watched that and I was like, holy crap. Spoiler, I guess. Season 2. The bad guy's a communist professor. And I'm just like, that's pretty bold messaging for a Netflix show. Show got canceled. Nobody watched it. This is one of the issues conservatives, post-liberals, libertarians have. You want people to believe in individual liberty, meritocracy, etc., but you don't talk about the things you like and promote them so they make money. We're doing that now, though, with Sound of Freedom. I like to shout out to Captain America, the Marvel movie. People say Marvel movies are dumb, superheroes movies are dumb. Bro, Captain America, it's a movie about a kid who is too scrawny to join the military, tries lying his way in, and then literally fights Nazis to help save the United States. It is an amazingly right-wing patriotic film, serving your country and all of that stuff. It's amazing. Conservatives should have come out and said, everyone go see Captain America. And then Captain Marvel comes out, they should have said, don't go see it. That way there's a big contrast, right? But the reality is people like superhero movies, so go see your superhero movies, go see your Mission Impossible. Have fun. I think I was watching Fast 10. I watched like half of it and then fell asleep. It's like whatever, doofy fun. You don't got to think too much. Those movies have their place. What we need is an alternative. We need competition. And that is, my friends, Sound of Freedom. I got to say, I think we're winning. When people ask me, yeah, but look, these Barbie makes more money. I'm like, no, listen. Winning doesn't mean one. Winning doesn't mean controlling all the territory. Imagine there is a battlefield and 80% of it is controlled by communists. But every day it drops from 80, 79, 78. That's called winning the battle. For now, it may not look like you control enough, and it may not seem like we have that much influence, but this is massive victory. You got to start somewhere, and we are gaining that cultural ground. So go see Sound of Freedom if you haven't already seen it. And I'm really looking forward to what Angel Studios has coming out next. They've got some sci-fi movie. Seems pretty cool. It's really funny. It's about like a guy like shifting through various realities, and they're like, it's kind of based on the Book of Enoch or something in the Bible. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's a guy transported to multiple dimensions or something. I'm like, sure, whatever. Dude, make whatever. If you make a good movie, I will watch it. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.